kinds of events that happened for Caribana 2009, and you think it's all about jump up, all about whining, all about pan, all about masquerading. Well, not entirely. You gotta check this event out. It's called Beyond the Rhythm, curated by Joan Butterfield. Takes place at the ROM. This is the second year this has happened, and basically the artists have to take Joan Butterfield's poem, Beyond the Rhythm, and they have to make their own interpretation artistically. And it is spectacular. Over 50 large pieces in this exhibit. So, you know what you gotta do. Check it out.
Once again, guide me to my destiny. From the love I want you like it free. Not because I want you to. Do all the work for me. You just love me to my heart. Don't let me come in, watch me shine.
Another year, another year.
This is the second one.
My inspiration was a continuation of last year's theme, and last year's theme was Roots to Rhythm. So I just wanted to continue that. I wanted to show where we have come as a people. So there's 50 pieces celebrating survival and accomplishments, thus calling it Beyond the Rhythm.
So the name of my piece is A Voice of the People Evolved. So what it represents is the beginning of the music, starting from the drums of Africa, going up to the steel pan from Trinidad, and then evolving into jazz and into the modern music that we know today.
I have 3 pieces in the show. It's called Transformation. If you notice the sunset behind the silhouette of the people, it represents the evolving of, say, African Americans, African Canadian, African Caribbean people. And we evolve in such a way so fast that we almost like the sunset. We come up today, and tomorrow we change, and the other day we change. So we could be anything at any given time.
It's called Mama's Picnic, and from behind you can see the sunset. Sun's rising. The sun is evolving into a beautiful human being and gonna be an amazing person in the society, the world's society. This is quite a highlight of my career, the Royal Ontario Museum. It is an honor to be here.
What I took from the poem basically was I am beyond the rhythm, right? And that being said, I am also the future in today's society. I'm also one of the elements that I guess can take art in the community forward, right? Now, my piece is called Components because I figure that there's a lot of different aspects that make me. an artist, and not just artists, basically singers, music, dancers, etc. Well, I actually did the piece about, I'd say about 4 or 5 months ago. I started the piece. It was completed about 3 months ago, and it's kind of a coincidence that Michael Jackson ended up dying. You know, he's probably the one that I connect to the most, and I wanted to show his jacket as well because that's actually iconic. Anybody that knows Michael Jackson knows that at the pinnacle of his career, the peak of his career, was Thriller. That's the Michael Jackson I love, out of all the Michael Jacksons.
You're a veteran now to this exhibition.
I still feel like a baby. This time I feel the inspiration was about kind of moving beyond boundaries but still creating new routes and new paths for yourself. So the whole feeling that I used last year with the tropical roots and things like that, it still has connected to this year's theme. That I'm thinking about ways to move forward from there.
Austin Clark, and I know that's a Fool Cooper. She was my professor.
Really?
Yeah, she's great, and I read one of her books too. Yeah, I knew that was her because I was like, even though like she cut her hair much different, I knew that was Austin. I was trying to see like, and I knew that's Jean Augustine, and I'm trying to see who else you chose. How did you decide who were you gonna?
Based on what they did, you know, it was very unusual. You know, it was no jive, no sports. You know what I mean? Nothing that's expected. Like an MP, pianist, a musical composer.
Yes.
You know what I mean? A ballerina, you don't see too much.
Things that you could almost say that almost excluded black culture in a sense, you know, like, I mean, there's not enough black female politicians. You know, how many professors that got to the, as far as a Fool Cooper did. I mean, she's amazing. I'm so glad to see her.
An honor? Well, yeah, I'm quite flattered. You know, I didn't expect the cover. Well, it was a juried show, and I guess the jury said it was a hit. They thought it was a hit, so they used mine. I mean, I'm flattered and everything. I mean, it could have been anyone, but it was mine. There's a verse that I chose, particularly to explain the poem. Right? It's we're not all, you know, bopping and jiving and playing sports. We do different things. Like we're politicians, we're conductors. You know what I mean?